Hello and welcome to Infodumping with two nerds and a truck. Today we are talking about Oastler Lake Provincial Park.
I keep forgetting that it's Oastler Lake, and I say Oastler Provincial Park, but it's Oastler Lake Provincial Park.
Yep.
I'm going to screw that up when we're doing this, I guarantee you that.
That's all right.
Anyway. Okay, so we recently went to Oastler Lake, and by the time this gets up, it's not going to be recently, but it was in early May. I think it was opening weekend, actually, 2025. Right?
Yeah.
We'd heard about it. We had not been there before, so this was the first time for us. Pleasantly surprised, but we will get to that.
Yeah.
And yeah, a little bit of a mixed bag. But I guess I'll leave. But we'll go over everything first, and then we'll get to the issues.
Yeah, let's dig into those details.
Oastler Lake Provincial Park is located right near Parry Sound, which is actually part of the reason that we've never been there. We are boring autistic, so once we find something we like, we don't do anything else. And this is with, we'll go to an Indian restaurant and we'll pick something really great the first time, and then we will never ever try anything on that menu ever because we've had the one true thing on the first go.
Guilty.
So also near Parry Sound is Killbear.
Yeah.
So, and it's only about half an hour away from Oastler Lake, so we'd never been to Oastler Lake. So we broke our habits. And we actually didn't go to Killbear when we went to Oastler.
Yeah, that's right.
So that was weird. Anyway.
So let's talk about registration and check-in.
Sounds good. We booked this 5 months ahead of time to the day at 7 a.m. It's a very small park, so if you are looking to book, especially in like the warm season, I would definitely recommend doing that at the 5 months. You might luck into something if you wait, but I would not want to Hunger Games it on a small park like that.
Yeah, I agree.
So registration check-in you handled?
Yeah, when you drive up, it looks like it's going to be a drive-up window kind of thing, but they had a sign on there saying, please pull ahead and come on in the store. So that is, of course, what we did. We went in and did fast and friendly service like always. Well, why don't you tell me about maps and signage? I know you're kind of a map nerd.
Yeah, so because it's a really small park, the map that they give you is it's the same 11 by 17 full color page that most of the parks are doing right now. So because it's small, it actually works really nicely. Unlike a few of the parks we've been to recently, it actually put their accessible facilities on the map. Again, it's really small, so they've got plenty of room to do it, so I'd be extra salty if they didn't. The signage wasn't amazing.
It was not.
Do you want to talk about a bit of the drama that we had?
Yeah, so we had a site with a very low number, so we were pulling past that section, and we knew we were in the general area. I could see one of the campsites, the number on it, but I didn't see any signage saying, this number through this number or anything like that.
Yeah, we had a communication difficulty there because he told me, oh, we're at site blah. And I said, okay, well, turn left at site blah, whatever it was. And it was like 3 rows down or something, but I didn't say 3 rows down. I just assumed he was seeing each number. So I told him the number of the one to go down. He blew right past it.
Right. So what I'm used to seeing is a major aisle coming down saying, okay, sites 10 through 20 go down this aisle, and it'll split up, or you go around or something like that. And that's kind of what I was looking for. Long story short, you have to basically get out, basically stop in the middle of the road, get out and look for your site, because we've got a large
or
rig.
Just count them. Like if I'd said the third row or whatever it was, like you could have gone down the third row. It's just, just know that you won't necessarily see every site on the end, so you won't necessarily know where to turn. This was kind of an issue a lot of the time through the park, because when we were driving around looking at like what other sites we might like on future trips, there's a lot of little offshoot loops. Like you'll be on a main campground loop, and then there's just like this little ring off to the side. Those weren't labeled as even being rings, so it almost looked like the driveway to campground, like the campsite.
Yeah.
But it would actually be, no, that's the entry to a loop of like 5 sites or whatever it was. It's not a problem once you've driven through once or twice. So like if you're staying in that loop, after the whatever site I'm going to turn right. But just if you're just kind of driving around, it's they could definitely use more labeling.
Definitely. Yeah, we weren't the only ones that had an issue. It's as we were pulling in.
Oh, that was so messy.
Yeah, there was a camper, and one person from the camper got out, found the site and basically waved down the partner that was driving.
Yeah, but to be clear, she was going up and down multiple rows trying to find this site. Like it was pretty bad. That was worse than we were. But anyways, yeah. So it's easy to blow past your site or your loop or whatever based on the signage. But once you get a feel for where you are, then it's really easy because it is a really, really, really small park. The signage where it does exist, though, is really good. Like, there's a lot of signage near the boat launch.
Yeah.
Bright, colorful, high contrast, big, easy to see, easy to, discern what the logos are, because sometimes they'll be kind of bizarre ones. Not so much in the Ontario parks. The signage for the boat launch is good, but then the dog beach isn't really labeled, and you just have to kind of know that, if you cross the bridge, then you're going down there.
Yeah.
Again, like super easy to find if you know where you're going or if you have the map on you.
Speaking of the map, I gotta say, it really looks like a side view of a person holding up like a knife or a really short sword. It's got like
That's dark.
I look at it more of a hurrah, like victory.
Shanky Lake?
No, like a victory, holding it up, like we have achieved victory.
Then why isn't he holding a trophy and he's holding a knife?
Maybe it's a trophy. Maybe it's a knife-shaped trophy.
You are so weird. I almost called you Turbo, and then I almost called you Elro. Wow, okay, I was going to call you out for being tired and say this is your brain on being tired, but I guess we both are. Anyway.
Comment and let us know. Do you think that the map looks like a person holding a sword or not?
Anyway, let's talk waste and water services. This is your game.
Yeah, so as you're pulling into the park, this is going to be off onto the right. There's a filling station that has 2 posts. The post on the right, so if you happen to fill up on your passenger side, you actually get a really cute view of a little stream or creek or something.
It's a river.
River? Okay.
It's like Boyne River, I think it's called.
Yeah, lovely view, but I didn't get that because I fill up on the driver's side, so I didn't.
You should have pulled it backwards.
I should have turned
it the wrong way.
I should have.
There was no signage there, really. Wasn't that the one that there was no signage? You see it. Or no, it's not on the map. That's it. It's not on the map, but you can tell where you're going in that it's there.
Yeah, and the waste, the poop loop, on that note, if you need to dump as you're going into the park, you don't see the sign because the signs are only directed at you as you're leaving the park.
If you have the map, it's really easy to see.
It is easy to find.
This is going to be a theme of this post.
You're right. So yeah, you go off to the right, you sneak around a little curve, and then you find this little poop loop. And what was really cool there was a bear trap that they had.
A live bear trap.
A live bear trap.
But it was closed.
Yeah, it was closed. And then you look closer, and all of a sudden you see this head in there, and it's like, what?
Well, I saw the whole outline. Like I thought it was a full bear, but it was for like a split second. I'm like, oh my god, there's something in there. But no, it's a cardboard cutout.
It was really super cute. I love it. I like the trolling.
So why don't you tell us about the actual poop loop?
Oh, fine. Once you
on track.
Once you get past the fact that there was a bear trap there, yeah, the actual poop loop. You've got the water rinsing station with a threaded connection. Everything you'd expect from there, and they do have the filling on there on the driver's side as well.
So now one thing to notice that there was a sign that looked to be permanent that said that their water sampling says it's a high sodium content, higher than the Ontario drinking water quality standards, and that it's safe to drink, but that if you're on a sodium restricted diet, then you should watch yourself.
Yes, indeed.
Connectivity.
Yeah, we are on Rogers Wireless, and I thought it was pretty decent.
It was pretty spotty.
Was it?
So it was. We couldn't do our work very well. Like uploads and downloads weren't great, but we could check the weather mostly.
Yeah.
We had decent cellular reception kind of at our site most times, but it got spotty. And then throughout the park, we used to we had some degree of connection pretty much everywhere. So if we couldn't connect or load something, like 30 seconds later it would load. So.
Why don't you tell us about accessibility?
Okay, so as I already said, like I'm glad that this park actually puts their accessible facilities on the map. The park office and the comfort station are barrier free. There's one disabled parking spot at the beach, which is right across from Site 22. That's not on the map though, which is kind of odd. But anyways, the comfort station is barrier free when you access it from the campground side of it. There's also a trail that goes down to the boat launch area. That is not barrier free. That looks pretty steep actually. I couldn't find any barrier-free sites when I was looking on the reservation portal, and there's none listed on the map. But weirdly, near the comfort station, there was a campsite that had a barrier-free picnic table. It wasn't the site itself. Like if you were to get from there to the comfort station, it wasn't barrier-free itself. So I didn't bother making note of it because it's definitely not a barrier-free site. It's just it was random to see that picnic table there.
Yeah.
And then finally, they had an all-terrain wheelchair on display at the park office, but there was no information online or anywhere that I could see about borrowing or renting it. Most parks that I've seen that have one of those loan them with a refundable deposit, and I think it's usually about $100. So that's it for accessibility.
All right.
Why don't you tell us about pets?
Well, as usual in all the Ontario provincial parks, you have to keep the dog leashed at all times unless you're on a designated area. Pick up after them. Don't let them harass wildlife or other people. Oastler has a really cool pet beach.
So cute.
Yeah, so it's on the opposite side of that little river from the boat launch, and it's large. It's beautiful.
Well, okay, to be fair, it's not large. It's actually pretty small. It's just large compared to Mew Lake, which is where we were immediately before that. So we're kind of comparing there. You have a large view, but it's a relatively small dog beach.
Right, but I think for a dog beach, I think it's large. You don't think?
No.
Okay.
And I've seen complaints about that. People say that this is a very small dog beach. So
all right. So
we will argue on that because we're cat people.
Fair enough. So it is beautiful. We'll leave it at that.
It is beautiful. Yeah, you can let your dog run. I believe it was off leash because I saw the sign saying it's off leash after this point. But I think there was a picnic table there and everything, and you could sit there and there's a picnic table right next to it. And the view of the lake, there's like kind of you can see the other part of the campground that has the overlook with the rocks and everything. It's just this really pretty view.
Definitely.
Okay, so parking.
There's not a lot of parking.
That puts it mildly.
We had a pull-through site, and I could not actually pull through because of the corners that you need to make.
Well, that's on us because we put for the trailer size, not for the trailer and the thing. But in general,
that's fine. I'm used to pull-through sites being abundantly large, so just a heads up.
That's a campsite thing. That's not a parking thing, though.
And that's fine.
But as far as parking goes, like we're used to, we had a bit of an issue where we were going to end up having to show up early to Oastler Lake, and we read some reviews online ahead of time that said there's no parking. There's like no day use parking or anything. And we thought, oh, well, maybe there's not that much, whatever. No, there's really no parking there. And the parking that is there is not great because the only parking that's really there is at the front office and it's not labeled. So if you go in there with your trailer and you need to pull over, you have to kind of guess where you have to look at all the different exits because you can go straight ahead to exit. You can go to the campground. There's the water fill. There's the poop loop. And you don't want to park in a way that you're blocking access to any of those for anyone else.
Yeah.
But it would be really helpful if there were lines on there. And that is the only parking, really. Because, I mean, you can park your car at the dog beach, or you can, you're allowed to park your car momentarily at the trailer one. But there's no trail, so there's no trailhead parking. But there's no spots where you can go and you can't go in early and just kind of sit in a day use area or anything like that. There's nowhere to park.
Yeah, if you have an extra car, there is a parking lot for you there. So with our motorhome, we could have detached the car. We probably could have gotten in there. It's not very large. I definitely wouldn't recommend it with a trailer. You're just going to get stuck.
I would say just plan on showing up at 2:00 or later.
Yes.
Don't plan on being able to park.
But if you do have an extra car, there is a spot designated for you there.
Okay. So under miscellaneous, we normally talk about Northern Lights and stuff like that. It's not a great place for Northern Lights because north of there is Perry Sound, so there's a lot of light pollution, whatever. What is miscellaneous information though? You're gonna have to bleep me. I don't know if I can talk about this without swearing. Let me try. There is a train.
Yes.
We disagree on the train because Porter is a train autistic. And I am not a train autistic. I am a likes to sleep autistic.
Yes. So, I will first say the same thing and just say it a little differently. There's a train.
There's a train. That train. Anyway, that train went by like all day, all night. And every time it went by, it would honk the horn, or I guess it's not honk the horn. What do you call it? Like blare the horn or whatever.
Yep.
It would bark the horn 3 to 5 times.
Yes.
Now, not only is there a set of train tracks immediately adjacent to this park, there are 2 sets of train tracks. So sometimes one train would go by one way, and then like 5 minutes later, there'd be another train also honking the horn 3 to 5 times.
Now, to be fair, the second set of tracks is a little bit further.
It's okay, so it's not like White Lake bad, but it was pretty bad. And yeah, we didn't have the screeching. I noticed we didn't have the not tires, the wheels screeching like at White Lake did.
There was a little bit of that because there was actually a curve in front of us, but it was, if you were standing near it, you could definitely hear that.
Yeah, like we had our air conditioner and fan going, so we didn't hear it as bad, but like White Lake, it sounded like the train was right in our campsite with us, and we didn't have that bad here, but it was still, wake up at 3 a.m. because they honked 5 times bad. So
yeah, there was one morning that I was awoken about 4 a.m. with a really loud train blast, and I was not happy about that particular one.
But it's a train!
Right. Now, if you do like trains, when you first hear the train blare the horn, you have time, if you hurry up, to actually go and see the train. If you go to the front
Depending
of the park.
on where you are.
Well, okay, you potentially have time to go and see the train. It's actually a couple minutes away still. So if you like to see the train.
That's for the one track.
Correct.
The problem is you have to kind of get into pattern recognition to know like the sound of the train when it's coming on that track versus the other one, because the other one's slightly further back.
You're right, but you
Why
get the
am I getting into this? It's
you get the opportunity to get to know the trains very well because it goes by approximately once per hour.
Oh, it's more than once an hour.
There were times where it seemed to be every half hour, and there were times where it seemed to be every 2 hours.
Yeah, I don't remember any that were. Anyways, there was a lot of train. There was a whole lot of trains. So if you're a train autistic, I think you'll enjoy the park, except for at 2 a.m. If you're not a train autistic, I recommend earplugs. If you can't sleep through that, bring earplugs. Especially if you're camping, because I feel like if you're a tent camper, because like we're in an RV, so that's already better for the noise reduction than a tent.
Yeah.
And we had our air conditioner going specifically because of this, and I sleep with the fan over my face. And I still heard the train. So I can't imagine and we weren't right on the lake either, because there's those tent camping sites are all along the lake. That's got to be magnified sound. So
probably.
We'll get to those sites in a bit, but I mean, I'm not totally discouraging you from getting those because the sites might outweigh the train.
Yes, we'll get to that for sure.
Anyway, it was not a super relaxing stay because of the train. I will say that.
But there was a train.
Oh my god.
What about the campground amenities?
Okay, so there's only a single comfort station, and it's relatively central to all of the little campground areas. It's kind of in the Lakeview campground, adjacent to the boat launch area, so you can access it from both the Lakeview campground and the boat launch area. There's flush toilets and showers. There's no laundry. Other than that, there's a few outhouses or vault toilets or whatever throughout the campground. We didn't end up using them. Pretty much every campground has at least one, I guess there's one each, or there's one kind of in between two that they both have access to. Again, it's super, super small. So when I say like one shared between 2 campgrounds, it's not. It's appropriate for the size of the campground.
Yeah.
We saw one that was marked with gender neutral signage, which was interesting because I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah.
In Ontario parks yet.
Always good to see inclusivity.
It is. Okay, so tell us about the park store because you're the one that went in.
Yeah, so the park store is located within that park office, and you can buy firewood, which is pretty common, but they've also got some stuffed animals, some shirts, and just the park souvenir kind of stuff.
Really basic offering. Like this
definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're not going to get any kind of food or beverages or anything there, but you've got some basics there. If you need more, you're going to want to go into Paris Sound.
Yeah, but that's literally like 5 minutes away.
Right.
We had to go in for groceries and Canadian Tire, and we got some Swiss Chalet while we were out there because I needed my crack sauce. Porter hasn't quite acclimatized to crack sauce yet.
Not my thing. It's okay.
Like Canadians, Porter, you have your citizenship now. Real Canadians.
Oh, gatekeeping.
Do shots of chalet sauce.
I do shots of maple syrup. Come on.
Okay, but yeah. Anyway, we'll get you on the chalet sauce. Anyway, yes, it's like 5 minutes away. So there's no visitor center at Oastler, and there aren't any like educational things. Like sometimes if there's no visitor center, there'll be like, here's some information about the history of the park, or here's a
Right.
plaque that says blah blah. I didn't see any interpretive anything anywhere. So
No, just go see the train.
it's very much a park where basically you want to just go and park your butt on the beach. That's pretty much it. Go park your butt on the beach or go boating. Yep. We'll get to the activities in a bit. Anyways, the day use area is stretched along the park beach. It's just a few picnic tables along the grassy area.
Mm-hmm.
There's a cute picnic shelter. I think it's available for rent. I didn't see any information about that. And there's a dock, DOCK, located a bit closer to the road near that picnic shelter.
Yes.
Now I need to spell that it's O and not I, because you wouldn't necessarily know from looking at it. That's all I'm gonna say. You agree, though? It
did have a certain look to it.
It did, yes. That was something. That had to be intentional. Had to be intentional.
Somebody was.
We're not actually 12 years old deep down. Like, I think anyone would look at that and be like, okay. Anyway, for rentals.
You can rent canoes. That's really about it. You can also get a personal flotation device loan. We didn't see any information, but generally we expect a deposit on that.
Yeah, I think it's usually $25.
Yeah. Also, the all-terrain wheelchair you mentioned earlier is available. I'm assuming there's also a refundable deposit on that.
Now, one thing I should mention, and I feel like this is gossip, but I feel like I should say it. I saw several reviews online that mentioned that renting from them is kind of sketchy. And I don't know if it's that it was people that maybe hadn't rented from Ontario parks before, or if there actually was sketchy. But there was something about like signage and pricing and stuff not matching up, and I don't understand that. But if you're going to rent, you might want to like read everything and make sure you know what's going on. Actually, on the miscellaneous thing, there was another thing. I had seen several reviews that mentioned that they're very litigious isn't the word. Rules lawyerish. Let's go with that. And that they have park wardens out looking to get you. And I actually noticed some of that when we were there. Like the park wardens, this is a very, very small park. I'm sure that they were bored out of their minds, but they were driving around and we saw constant.
Like patrolling,
well, I saw some get out and they were like I don't know if they were nitpicking a site or something, but they were like fussing over a site across from us, and it was kind of odd, and I've never seen that. But I don't know that I would have thought twice about it if I hadn't seen the reviews that were saying like if you if you are too what was it? It was someone said that their kids swore when playing a game and got a ticket for it or something.
Wow.
They were playing a card game and someone lost a hand and swore, and I don't know, it was weird. I don't usually read Google reviews on parks, but I gotta say it was either Google or I think Yelp had some weird ones. There were some weird ones for this park, I gotta say, and it's such a small park. We should look at the reviews for Darlington.
Yeah, nice. So anyway, yeah, we didn't have any kind of experience, good or bad, with anybody trying to,
No, and the park staff was friendly.
Definitely. That's what I want to say is that all of
That's what I was saying. It feels like gossip, but there's so much of it out there that I wanted to mention it just because, like, if you are renting, like, definitely, like, look into things and read into things because it sounds like there may be an issue there, but I might be talking about my I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about campsites.
Yeah, definitely. So we were in the beachside campground, and that's the one that, like I was saying, ours was a pull through, but it was pull through without a robust amount of space.
That's an interesting way to put it. Anyways, we should mention, so the beachside campground I thought was going to be the best sites because they're right next to the beach, and that's why I picked those.
Yeah.
I would say the beachside campground is the least nice campground in the area. It's very like in the park.
Yeah.
It's very cramped. It's very there's no privacy. There's no space front to back, as he was saying. It is really handy to walk to the beach, but then again, it is a very small park. So really, if you're not physically messed up like I am, it's not a long walk to the beach from anywhere you are, right? Except for maybe the hilltop ones and whatnot, right? But whatever.
Yeah, the sites that were right next to the beach had a little better view. We did not have that.
But I do want to say, Oastler has a ridiculous ridiculous percentage of really cute sites.
They do.
Like, this is a really small park, and I'd say a good 80% of the sites have like some kind of view, or they're just really cute, or they're next to water or whatever. Like, it's just insane hit rate of really cute sites. They are not in the beachside campground.
Yep.
So if we go back, I'm not going to spoil it till the end, but like if we were to go back, I don't think we'll be staying in the beachside. I think we're going to be going to one of the other ones.
Fair enough. Yep.
So the Riverside and Hardwood Hill campgrounds are on the other side of Boyne River from the beach side. They're all wooded sites. They've got a bit more privacy than beachside. These are two campgrounds side by side, and there's little offshoot loops, ones I was talking about earlier. Most of them are electric, handful non-electric, and most of the sites that are along the river over there have really cute and really open views of the water.
Yeah.
Which surprised me, because when I was booking this, I swear I remember that you couldn't really see that there was water view. Like, the photos did not make it look like you were on the water. It made it look like there was a bunch of like shrubbery and trees and stuff blocking your view. No, most of these have open view of the river. Yeah. And it's not a spectacular river, but it's still really cool to camp with a water view.
Definitely.
So definitely you're going to want to look really closely at those reservation photos, because they're not necessarily accurate.
Yeah.
But in the good way, because like I hate when you get a site and it's not accurate, and it's like it looked so much better online. This is the complete opposite. You might book something and not realize that you've got full water access.
Right.
Anyway, the Lakeside campground. Lakeview, that's it. Lakeview had bunch of gorgeous waterfront sites. And some of them, and they were very cool, because some of them had like it's not a balcony, but kind of like an overlook where you'd park, and then your camping would be way underneath you.
Yeah.
Like, there'd be a giant rock that you could camp on. It was just lots of really beautiful sites.
Definitely. If you're a tent camper, definitely check those out.
Now, you went and checked out the Point campground.
Yeah, and if you're a tent camper, definitely check out the Point campground. It is crazy awesome.
Spectacular.
Every site that I looked at, most of them were empty, so I was able to walk into the sites and check out the view. You've got this nice elevated view of the water, great background, just beautiful.
And to be clear, this is Ontario Shield Lake. Like, this isn't like, oh, you're on like a little rocky shore or you've got sand or whatever. This is, you're on a cliff and there's big rocks and like the big rocky, like gorgeous Canadian Shield vista.
Yeah. So some of the sites were kind of side by side without a lot of privacy between them. So if it were full, you might get to know your neighbor pretty well.
How much would you care if that was you, though?
I don't think I would care, because I'd be looking out over that lake the whole time. It's just absolutely amazing. And at the end of it was really cool. It's not a campsite, but I guess it's a shared
it's probably
space.
The Point.
The
Point campground.
Absolutely. But you can walk right out there, and there's a picnic table, and it's just a gorgeous, almost 360 view, because you're on this little skinny peninsula. I definitely recommend going out there to check it out.
As long as it's not busy. If you're not camping on the Point, maybe don't go out there to the Point. I'm thinking that would be annoying to people.
Fair enough. There were like 2 people camping out there that I saw.
Yeah. So, activities. Not so much.
Yeah.
Not so much. So, hiking.
That's something we love to check out at most parks, and this one was not something we could check out here.
No, there's not a single trail. And not only is there no hiking trail, which I find that interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a provincial park that didn't have any hiking trails. Like, sometimes there's like 1 or 2 little, like, whatever, we're going to put a little walking path in here trails.
Yeah.
There's nothing. And when I say nothing, I don't even mean no name trails. I mean, you know how some campgrounds have like the through the woods path to get from like one campground to the comfort station or anything like that? Right. There's nothing like that.
You're right.
There's that one little trail that goes from the boat launch up to the, I don't even think that counts. That's literally just going up the side of a hill to get to the.
Yeah, you can see the comfort station.
Yeah, but there's no campground trail, like walking paths or anything. You're walking on the road to everything. So if you are looking to hike, there's like an 8-kilometer section of decommissioned rail trail nearby called the Rose Point Trail. You can kind of access it from across the park, from across the opening to the park, but you have to kind of go down the street and up or whatever, because there's a big kind of not even a ditch. There's a ditch and then like a wall of rock. So it's not great for accessing. But like a kilometer or two north of there's a big parking lot for it. So
yeah, that's a great access point. And yeah, it does go at least at some point right next to the current train rail.
God, Porter.
So it's a great spot for train viewing if you like such things.
Do you like such things? God, you're such a dork.
I like such things.
Oh my God. Anyway.
How about biking?
Okay, so anyways, there's no dedicated bike trails there either. The park roads aren't really attractive as a cycling option because they are pretty narrow. They're kind of rough. There's a lot of like steep hills and stuff. The vision, like the visibility isn't great. The Rose Point Trail that I mentioned for the hiking is a mixed use trail though, so it does allow for hiking. So for cycling. But
since you mentioned the roads, I meant to say this in the miscellaneous section. A couple of the spots are extremely steep. You know, driving up to the point.
Oh, the roller coaster.
Yeah, driving up to the point, it feels like it's 45 degrees. I'm sure it's not that steep, and it's not all that long, but it's like, wow. Definitely don't try to haul your trailer up there.
Yeah, I liked when we were coming down off there because we went up towards where the point was because that was really great for birding, which we'll get into in a bit. But when you come down from there's this point where you're driving towards the hill down and the road disappears.
Yeah.
Because it's not straight down, but it's like it's down enough that you can't see it over your bumper.
And it's one lane, so if another car is coming, they're going to have to...
yeah, that's kind of annoying.
They're going to have to find a spot to pull over.
Luckily, it's a small park. If that was like, hundreds and hundreds of sites and they had one way, that would be a mess. But, and again, we went I think it was the opening weekend, but it was very early in May. So there wasn't a lot of people there. Yeah. We didn't have to compete for the roads all that much. And it's a very chill park, like where there's no hiking, where there's not a whole lot to do. Like you're basically parked at your site, so you're not really competing with traffic that much. You're not hearing traffic that much either. Like check in, check out is about it.
Right.
Swimming.
Yeah, so we were right by the beach, like we mentioned, the day use area on there. It looked really nice. Like they had the beach like combed, like it
was well groomed.
Yeah, groomed it.
So I am a princess when it comes to beaches because I don't like small inland beaches at all. Like I'm a Great Lakes beach kind of person, right?
Yeah.
This beach I think might have been the first one I've seen at a park that doesn't have all the grossness, like why I don't like inland lakes. Like there was no slime, there was no plant matter, there was it did not seem popular with the geese, if you know what I mean. It was clean. The water looked clean. The sand, it was like sandy sand. It was just a really cute beach.
Yeah,
I had no issues.
Great spot to look at sunset.
It was, yeah. There were some really nice sunsets there.
Yeah.
Birding was a weird one here because the park barely mentions birding. Like no, that park didn't even mention. Sorry, I was thinking the park after that. It barely mentioned. This does not mention birding as an activity there, and we had fabulous birding there.
Absolutely.
Like that was almost. I think we had a better time birding at Oastler Lake than we did at Presqu'île.
And Presqu'île is known for birding.
Like that's like the mecca of birding in Ontario, and I think we had a better time with it at Oastler.
Yeah, so we hit migration very well, which is definitely part of that reason. But there were a lot of...
we did at Presqu'île also.
Yeah, and there were a lot of different nice little spots. So right next to the beach was a really active spot.
Yeah.
Yep. Over just past the bridge, when I walk over there, was another little hot spot for some different birds. That was a great crested flycatchers were in that area. We went up to the point area. There
Warbler Alley.
Exactly, Warbler Alley. So it was a lot of fun.
Give us the Pokemon wrap.
All right. We've got American Crow, American Goldfinch, American Redstart, American Robin, Bay-breasted Warbler.
That was cute.
Yeah.
We had not even heard of that one before this stop.
Right. Black and White Warbler, Black-capped Chickadee, Black-Burnian Warbler. I love those.
Oh, he was pretty.
Black-throated Green Warbler, Blue-headed Vireo, Blue Jay, Broad-winged Hawk, Brown-headed Cowbird. Oh, those were so cute.
You know what? I'm going to interrupt you here for a sec. We should discuss... You know what was interesting about the birding at this park is the birds did not give a
shit. You're right.
They really didn't. Like a lot of them, you have to like stay quiet and wait and wait and wait and wait, and maybe one will come out. Here, the birds would come like right out.
Yeah.
Like there were so many things that we got great photos of because they weren't hiding in the treetops and they weren't hiding away in the bush or whatever. The brown-headed cowbirds.
Yeah, they
came right up to our car.
Yeah,
just hanging out.
They were just kind of looking at me and going back to their business. I'm like, all
whatever.
right.
Yeah, so
I'm
I
gonna
don't know
keep
if
taking pictures.
I don't know what the deal was, but those birds seemed far more chill in general than other places we've been. So, anyways, I missed where you were. I think chipping sparrow,
dark-eyed junco, evening grosbeak, golden crowned kinglet, great catbird. I love those.
They're funny.
They are. Great crested flycatcher. I mentioned that. Hermit thrush, northern flicker, pileated woodpecker.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Is that your favorite?
I think it is.
I think he's your nemesis.
Yeah. Pine siskin, pine warbler, red-breasted nuthatch, red-eyed vireo, rose-breasted grosbeak, song sparrow, red-eyed vireo, white-throated sparrow, yellow-rumped warbler, and yellow warbler. So those were all the birds we either heard or saw.
The blackburnian warbler, I think, was my favorite at that trip.
They're quite adorable.
Yeah, so we got photos of all those. I'm sure you'll put some photos on here because I don't think you got video.
Absolutely.
Anyway, boating. So there's a really small boat launch in the park. The boat launch area itself is really cute. The boat launch itself, it says it's good for boats less than 20 feet long. I feel like that's a little bit of a stretch and that you might want to be a little bit smaller than that. Maybe you can get a 20-foot one in. I don't know.
Maybe you can. It looks like it goes in really shallow, so you'd probably have to pull in really far, which means if you have a really big boat, you have to go even further. So it kind of depends what you're launching.
Yeah. There's a little parking area and dock right there also that's available first come first served basis. There's also a little municipal launch on Little Otter Lake, which is 5 minutes southeast of the park. We didn't actually go there though. There was a snake at the boat launch.
It was kind of cute.
Oh.
Just a water snake.
I don't like snakes.
Yeah, it was kind of fun to watch.
Anyway, fishing. There's fishing on the lake.
Yeah, as long as you're licensed, you can go fishing. You can find bass, pike, and rainbow trout.
In the proper season also.
Absolutely.
Licensed and in the proper season. So as far as the Discovery program goes, this park has no information about Discovery programming on its site, which I'm wondering if that means they don't have anything. Because they don't have like an amphitheater or anything. They don't have a visitor center. They don't have interpretive paneling. There's not really anywhere they can host it, really.
Yeah.
Maybe on the beach, but that's a picnic shelter.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I thought all the parks that were like too small to bother had like the Discovery books or whatever that they'd pimp, but I've never seen I've never seen one that doesn't even mention the Discovery program. So don't know what's up there. If you're there in the summer and you happen to see Discovery programming, let us know.
Definitely. About Niantic games.
Not going to be a great place to get your Pokemon Go on.
No, I mean, we had a little bit of a connection issue, like you mentioned, but that's probably not too much of a concern. But
there's only 4 like portals, Pokestops, gyms, etc. There's only 4 spots in the entire park, and they're pretty spread out.
Yeah.
So a lot of times it's like if you go to the visitor center, there'll be 5 or 6 or something like that. There's nowhere in this park that you can really say, oh, if you're going to go there, because there's a concentration, because there's not really.
Yeah. So you can take a short walk and get your daily hack in or whatever.
Yeah, if you're doing during an event, I'd say go into
Perry Sound
for a bit.
Yep.
So, final thoughts.
My expectations were not very high because we had talked a little bit about those reviews that were kind of negative. You'd mentioned the train in the negative light, and so I had this.
Oh my God!
I had this kind of negative perception of this park, but I'm like, well, we're going to try it out.
You at no point did you have a negative perception based on the train. Be real right now.
I thought maybe it was going to be a White Lake situation where it was just obnoxious.
It was just obnoxious.
Well, maybe.
Anyway,
but
super cute park.
Exactly.
Super cute little park. The only things it had going against it in our experience, because like we didn't have like all the bad review stuff that people had. In our experience, the only things going against it were there's no trails, because we do like hiking.
Yes.
I was completely messed up during this day, so that actually didn't matter that much to me. But the train also, and the train, obviously the park can't really handle that. Can't, it's not their fault, whatever. But like, those are the only strikes I have against the park. And honestly, I think every once in a while you need a park where maybe you don't need to go hiking all the time. You know what I mean? Park your butt on the beach.
I agree. And I'm a runner, so having that rail trail conveniently located, it's a perfect place to go for a run. I didn't get a chance this time, but next time I'll definitely take that up.
in general, I think if it's, the only problem I have with it is like where there are no hiking trails, I would think of it as a relaxation campground like that. Like I said, like you're gonna park your bed on the beach or chill on the water or whatever. Like it's not like a high action park,
Yeah.
right? But then you can't really call it a relaxation park because there's the oral terrorism coming from the train.
Well, maybe you can go to the rail trail and watch the train, and that'll be your relaxation.
Why did I marry a train autistic? Why couldn't you be like a Eurodance autistic?
Well, I mean, does Eurodance have train sounds? Because maybe we can blend
I mean,
the two.
some of them do.
Then we
Some
can.
of them do, but like we're not big on train sounds in music because there's that old one from who did that? Was that like Chilliwack or something?
I know who you mean, but
I don't know. That's horrible. We don't. Neither one of us like that song. So you wouldn't even like train songs in music. Anyway. So yeah, we're both ADD. Also, we should. You might have noticed. Anyway.
So, check out Oastler. Go for the beach. Enjoy the train.
Well, we didn't give our final thoughts, so
okay.
I'm not 100% sure we'll be back.
Really?
I'm not sure
I'd like to.
Well, Killbear's right there.
I love Killbear.
And it's got nice hiking trains. There's no train. You're gonna have to believe me because I can't say there's no train. I can't. No train. It's hard to say it without expletives because, oh my God, you don't need to honk your horn 5 times at 2 a.m.
Yeah,
it's not even like it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like honk, wait, then like wait another minute or 2 minutes. It's oh my God. It's like I'm one of those people that if I wake up in the middle of the night, I can't get back to sleep. See, Porter can sleep through anything, and if he wakes up, he's going to be passed out again in 5 minutes.
It's the train singing you a little lullaby as it goes by. Oh my
God. Anyway, so I'm not 100% sure I'll be back. It was super cute. And I would definitely like to check out those other sites. I'm not a no. I'm just but Killbear.
See, I think maybe we could do something like stay at Killbear and then stay at Oastler for maybe 2 nights. I can run on that rail trail and we can still enjoy the park, but just a shorter time.
Yeah. It'll be I'm not a no. I'm not a no. It's just the train.
All right.
Just that train. Anyway.
Check out all this information on our blog. We've got photos and everything that we've mentioned here is all listed out.
We even have a photo of the train.
Sadly, I did not get a good video of a train. I set up for it and I didn't get it. So I wanted to splice it in here. I don't have it.
What is wrong with you?
So many
Why
things.
is a train? So I don't understand train autistics.
That's another.
Half the dudes I know are train autistics. I don't get it.
That's another info dump on its own.
Are you going to info dump on trains? Because I will need earplugs.
Maybe.
Anyway, so how about subscribe to our quasi newsletter that's not really a newsletter because it's just an automatic email that sends you out when we got new posts because I'm too lazy to do newsletter.
Right. We don't spam you. It just says, hey, there's a new park review. Check it out. And that's it.
Yeah. Anyway, one way or the other, check us out. Subscribe. We'll info dump on you next time. Hopefully with less train content.
Awesome. Thanks for watching.
Oh yeah, we are watching this video.